very beautiful continent. We have wildlife, we have, all the lakes from the waterfall to the, AGULU Lake to the JABI Lake to the OGUTA Lake, different parts of Africa. We also have big hotels and beaches and places to go to and explore, and where you can actually spend your money without feeling bad. So today, we are looking at the tourism industry in Africa. On the show, Stand Out with Pat, and I have with me the duo of GOGE Africa team. We'll go on a short break. When I come back, I'll let you into that. Stay ready. The show is Stand Out with Pat, and today we're looking at the world of tourism in Africa. And with me in the studio, I have a power couple, the duo of Nneka and Isaac Moses. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Pat.
It's a great pleasure to have you both on the show.
Thanks for having us.
And sir, your voice is... Well, we bless God for this baritone.
It's
Thank
for
you.
sale.
Oh, great. I love that. It's really an honor to have you both, and I celebrate you, and I respect the fact that you both are in this tourism business, and it's going to 2 decades to, make you understand this. I'm saying 20 years, like you go 1, 5, 10, 20.
That's right.
It's I know it's been a roller coaster ride. It's been exciting for you both. But sir, before I go to her, what does it feel like celebrating 20 years in the tourism industry?
Well, it's been a very interesting journey. It's been exciting, and aside from the excitement, it entails a lot of work, a lot of commitment. Because, say for instance, in Africa, we're not used to planning that much like the Western world would do. Now, an event is happening, say, in Ghana, and they want you there, and you're not aware you're going to be there until maybe you just call and say, okay, please, can you come this weekend? And you need planning. You're taking people along with you. You're taking the crew, and the crew you're taking with you also have commitment. Some of them have families. They need to plan if you're leaving your country or your place of comfort, you need to at least make some arrangement. But most times, you don't get that privilege. Yeah. But because we love what we do, because it's Nneka and I, first and foremost, we enjoy it. We just take it as it comes. So we don't make it seem like it's work. Like it's work. We kind of enjoy it. So, and that's why we've been able to pull through it 20 years counting.
Wow, that's really huge. And I love the fact that you mentioned planning. So it means that planning and logistics has been a very great challenge running this business
Oh,
for
yes.
20 years.
Oh, yes.
Wow. Well done.
Thank you.
Sis, you've built a strong African brand with your husband for 20 years. What is it like, tell us about your transition. You've moved from probably friend to boyfriend to husband. It's been a lot of transitional moment for you. What is it like to travel the world with your husband?
Okay, this sounds like a lot of questions all in one, but I think the first thing I'll say about GOGE Africa, him and the whole thing, it's been a learning process for me, and an exciting one at that. It's like I've been in school all these years and I'm still learning. We started out as friends,
right.
Then we became husband and wife.
Yes.
Then we became business partners.
I like the way you're winking.
So that's the 3 parts of the journey, as in between both of us. Right. Yeah. So yes, that's what it's been, but it's been a big learning process for me. First, learning how to be a good girlfriend, which lasted like about 12 months. Then I became a wife. I didn't get enough time to be wife before they made me a business partner.
Okay.
So And then I had to now juggle all of them
Together.
together at the same time because we have a business to run, we have a family to run. And one thing about Africa is you get married, you expect to have a baby.
Right.
So we're also working on that at the time. And so it was just too many things at the time. But I think I was able to pull through because I married my friend. So I'm not easily bored. And I also married a guy that has a conscience. And I think I married a guy that loves me too much.
Oh, that happened.
And then, but to cap it all, I married a guy that is God-fearing and has a strong vision and focus. His focus is awesome. You just can't shift it. When I tell him we can't do it, he tells me it can be done. If we can think it, then it's possible.
That's right.
So.
Number one, she said it's important that you marry someone who is God-fearing.
Oh yeah.
And if you can think it, it's possible.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a good one. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because I like the fact that you know, kind of tied that particular question to marriage, because it's very important today. They will always say that who you marry could either make or mar your life. Thank you. Sir, let's talk about the tourism industry now.
Okay.
Tourism business. In this age and time, I see a lot of people, you know, I see it all over my Facebook sometimes. They will probably merge some celebrities together and say, go to Dubai with this person, pay 500,000 naira, blah, blah, blah. You know, so you have a lot of tourism companies everywhere. How do you know the ones that are legitimate and the ones that are scamming people? You know, because some of these tourism businesses understand that people want to associate with their celebrities. Some people will probably see you and like, wow, go to Africa, you know, they want to be with you. So some businesses understand that. So they want to explore or exploit people. So how do you manage that? How do you really know which company is a legitimate travel company, and which company is not?
No, like every business has such challenge.
Right.
You have tour companies, you have tour operators, you have ticketing companies, and now people out there, the tourists out there are looking for a tour company that would give them the most experience. Now take for instance, just recently a gentleman and his wife called. They want to go to, can we suggest somewhere? He wants to go to a country in Africa. Where do we think? You know, and he has a break, you know, a very short break. And I said, like, how long? He said, like a week. I said, fine, you can have a good time within a week. So we suggested somewhere in East Africa. No, okay, yeah, sure. We suggested Nairobi, gave him reasons. And now, if we give him a tour package, and because we have the contact in Nigeria and outside, even if we don't, because usually when people want us to give them a package, they expect that we would have to go with them. Oh, okay. But we can't always go with it unless it's a huge number, a group, say 10, 15 upwards. Then we can decide to go with them to make sure that everything goes as planned. I'll go with our itinerary. So, but now, when you're not going to be there, you need a trusted ground agent, ground people on that part of, on the location they're going to. So that's where you need a reputable company. Otherwise, you have to do your research, you need to do your due diligence so you don't get scammed. People have been scammed. And in every business, you have the risk of being scammed if you don't do your due diligence. Yes, so it's an industry that's growing. Young people are coming in, different people are there, all sorts are there claiming, because people go into every business they think is thriving. And yes, and they want to make money. So, but it's up to you.
To discern.
Yeah, you have to be discerning. You don't want to get scammed by people who are unscrupulous, people who are unprofessional. You want to get an experience with your money. So that's where we come in. That's where you have people. We got into tour business out of the passion. We're passionate. It wasn't really about the money. We got into it because we want to project the potentials of Africa through the program. We project tourism destinations and tourism products.
Okay, so what would you suggest? How would you recommend that people screen some of these tourism companies or agents who wants to rob them or, you know, just kind of swindle them?
Oh yes, it's now you have we have EFTON.
Okay.
That's an association of tourism promoters. You also have NTDC, the government arm.
Okay.
You have different organizations you can actually ask questions if you're not too certain about the people. That is, if you don't know them, right? Then of course the social media. The social media has also made it a lot easier for you to, do your research, investigate it.
Google.
You can Google, exactly. So it's up to you really, because honestly, even the government cannot successfully regulate activities out there in the tourism industry. You have all sorts. So because you have the money you are the one that would lose money if you don't do the needful here. Do you understand?
Yeah, I do.
So it's up to you really.
Well, so in case you want to travel, you want to go anywhere, make sure that you scrutinize that travel company that you before giving out your money, because this is very important. I've had friends say, "Oh, Pat, can you imagine? I gave this company my money. They wanted to package a tour for me.
Yeah.
They're not picking up their calls." And I'm like, "Okay, did you actually Google them? Did you find out about them online?" And she's like, "I'm busy. I'm too busy." So it's very important before you.
They remember
Yes.
in Calabar last year, some people came to us, "Oh, GOGE Africa, we give some people money to give us a package in this Calabar Carnival." And we just didn't hear from them, and we had to come by ourselves. We don't even know where to be. We couldn't get a hotel. We couldn't get. So, oh dear. So oh yes. And the Calabar Carnival is a huge. It attracts a lot of revelers. So people are there, and then people, if you don't go through a tour company who will ensure you get a hotel, if you come during the carnival, hotels that ordinarily you would have to pay maybe 15,000, you're having to pay like 45,000 naira. You'll be having to pay 35, 45, and so you can even hardly get a place. That's where you stand, you become very vulnerable. Somebody could take your money and promise to get you somewhere. You don't even see the person, and you don't, so that's why it's important that you plan.
Right.
Don't make last-minute decision. Plan your trip. Go through a reputable tour company, or tour operator. That way you are at least in secure hands.
Thank you very, very much, sir, for sharing that thought. It's very important, and I'm sure our viewers are listening. So let's go back to Mrs. Nneka Moses. Ma'am, you said, and a lot of people know this, I'm very sure, that when you got married, it took you a while to have your first child. How was that waiting moment for you? What did you go through? Take us through your journey. Okay. And how did you feel when your son came?
Okay, I'll talk about that, but I just want to add, because something to what you asked him. The internet has made it easy for people to reach people. It has the good side and the bad side.
It's making communication very easy.
Yes, the good side, yes. Every Kenya, was it Tanzania, West Africa, East Africa, everywhere is on your face.
Right.
Now, my first thing is, if you want to travel to any location, look for tour companies within your environment. If you're a Nigerian and you want to go to South Africa, look for a Nigerian tour company that you can vouch for. If you can't vouch for them, are they registered? Are they a member of some of our bodies here? Yes. Maybe Nahoto or Natop or Nantap and all of that. You can easily verify that here because you are a Nigerian. Now, if you get such a person, every tour operator or tour company cannot assure you or guarantee you that they have tours to everywhere in the world. We all specialize. Some people are specialists in South Africa. There are those that is Dubai and East Africa. There are those that is America. There are those that is Africa. So if you get those that, depending on where you want to go, get an operator that has access to that location. Pay that person. Online payment is good if you're sure of the company. But when you pay, you have someone close to you to hold on to. Because a lot of people go online and say they want to travel, so they Google, they see somebody online. There are lots of people online.
Quite a lot.
It's so difficult to decipher who is actually
genuine.
A real person and who is genuine and who you can trust.
That's right.
So if you go and you say you want to go to South Africa, you Google somebody there, you find They charge you, you pay, and then you call.
Everything online.
Yes, everything you call and nobody answers you anymore. You have
Exactly.
nobody to blame. That's why you have tour operators in every country. You deal with tour operators in like GOGE Africa for us.
Right.
We deal with tour operators when we send someone to a location that we are not going to. For instance, we have been to almost everywhere we go to are the only kind of places we sell. I cannot sell a location I've never been to, because when I come to your country, I get involved with your tourism board. So if I'm going to deal with any tour operator in that country, I'm going to call the tourism board who already knows us and say, hello, do you know tour company A? And they verify the person. Then I can now send my person
To such tour company.
Yes,
Yeah.
and transact business with them. So my own warning comes from the point that you don't just Google somebody because the person is online, has a nice website, good payment portal, and you transfer money. Bearing in mind or believing that, okay, this person is going to give me a good time based on the pictures I see on this website. It doesn't work like that. You need to find a tour company.
And I've seen people who put up things on the website, online that are not true.
Yes.
Yes.
I think they'll just probably pick up.
Yeah.
Yes, and then put it and then make you feel that this is what they can deliver.
That's right.
You know, so
We have to really be careful.
No,
Yes, we have to be
it's
careful.
important, yeah.
So that's something I can say. But if you want to go straight to a company without going through, to a country without going through a tour operator, I think you should also contact the tourism board. If you Google somebody in Nairobi, for instance, or in, why am I always calling Kenya?
No, in Addis Ababa.
In Addis Ababa, Google somebody
Or in
Addis
Kigali.
Ababa, or Kigali, or Rwanda. Yes, that's Rwanda. Then what you need to do is to, when you Google, contact the tourism board of that country. Also Google tourism board. They will have email. Tell them you want to deal with this company in your country because I'm coming. They will be the one to do the check and let you know.
Yeah.
Give you a valid information. whether
That's
that
right.
company
Exist
Or
or
not.
not. Yeah.
I hope you're watching, or should I say listening? Okay.
So you want to
back
throw
the
me back to
question.
my question?
Yes, of course. ma'am.
I'm talking about,
Share your journey, your child's birth.
oh, looking for a baby?
with us. Yes, of course.
Okay, so easy these days because the baby is here, so it's easy to talk
Yeah.
about it. Okay, yeah, then, but it wasn't a very easy journey, but I think it was for a good cause. Because when we got married, in the first year we lost our baby, our first baby, 8 months and 2 weeks, heavy.
Yeah.
It was a bad
almost
experience.
said, yeah.
But after then, a lot of complications led to the delay, I think. And also because God wanted that delay. You see, if the babies had come that quickly, GOGE Africa can't run as far as it has because we have to have too many babies to carry with us all the
Yeah.
time, you know.
So for
And
every
then
disappointment,
there is a blessing.
Yeah.
So some of the funds we've used to further GOGE Africa would have gone to school fees. So I look at it that way.
Oh no, but no, I don't want to. I don't want to agree with that because
Okay.
honestly, seriously, if it wasn't for looking for a baby, trying to get her pregnant, IVFs, this one, that one, spend so much money. Doctors scam you. Doctors too are scammers.
There are scammers
I'll
in
say
every
it. I mean,
profession.
now I can say it because I know these guys. Oh my God, that's in fact. The medical field is one place that don't even, I'm not sure they have enough regulation because people get treated anyhow and you don't even complain. Even when you complain, nothing happens.
And they get away with it,
They
right?
get away with it. But I mean, you just spend money and money. And you see, when you're desperate, that's when people scam you. Honestly, I don't want to wish anybody, not even my enemy, when a woman needs to have a baby, anything she says, the doctors will tell you, look, it has to be IVF. You know, and you're sure it's a lie. You could even do 5 IVFs. It's not working. And each time money is going down the drain. Good money, money that with which you can really be somebody. Good money. I'm talking about real good money here in millions. So,
I know IVF is
oh,
expensive.
and you know, you also get to pity the woman. You know, she goes through all kinds of tests, all kinds of poking, you know. At the end of the day, negative. Oh. So it's not an easy journey when it comes to looking for babies.
I can feel you, but we also have to be grateful for the miracle.
Oh, yes. So at the end of the day, it's God that actually decides, honestly, if it was all about medical, whatever. As there's nothing, oh, in London for IVF, India for IVF, America for IVF.
You must have spent a
Oh,
lot
good.
traveling
I would
alone.
have been a big man by now,
Sir,
honestly.
you're a big man.
Okay.
Come on, you're a big man.
You're just looking at the cash factor.
No, I mean, come on. I know what I'm
like,
saying.
like your wife said, every disappointment.
He's looking
is-
at the cash factor.
Yes.
Okay?
And it's only God that restores. And I know He's going to restore you because He said in His word in Job
Yeah.
2:25 that He will restore the years that He can't.
Locust, yeah.
Yes, He's going to restore it. So don't think about it anymore.
I know.
Don't think
No.
about it. Just be grateful.
I'm grateful.
But of course, we cannot
Hmm.
ignore the fact that some of, like you said, there are exploitations.
Oh, yes, that's what I'm saying.
Corporate exploitation
Surely.
is the most dangerous,
Mhm.
because people in these fields, they just have their language.
They are licensed to exploit.
For instance, when a doctor is writing a prescription for you, you don't even see his right.
Yes, they make sure you don't.
Yeah, so all these things are always there, but we just keep, choosing how we live our lives.
Yeah, but you talk like it's just about the money. You see, the money that you spent or we've spent looking for a baby is one thing, but have you ever thought of the fact that you could have the baby and then still spend that much or even more trying to secure that baby? There are people who have kids that have some kind of defects.
Yes, surely.
And all that, and that will eat into your money. And also, I'm not looking so much at the money, because if God didn't give you the money, you wouldn't even spend
That's
it.
true.
And so if He has allowed us to wait for that long, I'm looking at the positive side. It's for a good reason. And that reason is that I think God really needed a couple to begin to promote Africa. And God said, okay,
Yeah.
I'm sending you forth to do this. I know you're going to have a baby, but it's going to be a special baby, and that baby is going to come when I want him or her to come. So He delayed. And one thing He did all that while, one thing Isaac did to complement God's decision is when I get upset that this month, oh, my period again, and then my face is like, don't worry, if it's not this month, it's next month.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
What a great man.
exactly. And in order not to
I had
think
faith.
so much about baby, our job,
GOGE Africa.
GOGE Africa will always take your mind off it, because where I'm there sulking that the period has come, and we're getting a call maybe from the Gambian president, we need you to be in the Gambia.
Yeah.
And then I'm all excited again.
And when the
And then
government
we will now-
said,
and then we now
would
go
you guys,
there,
would you like us to
and-
send a private jet to pick you, or
Oh
would you
my
like,
God,
oh,
yes.
oh, yes.
Okay, you're
I think I
through
should
with
travel with you guys.
You should.
It's
And
fun.
then you're
Our
through
job
with
is
that. The
fun.
next thing, Egypt is inviting you. Then the next thing, you have to go deliver lecture in the University of California in Santa Cruz, talk about African culture. So GOGE Africa, to a very large extent, has or was able to keep my mind so much away from the issue of looking for a baby.
Yeah.
So it's always like this, like that, like this. It was never a dull moment all through. Its peaks and valleys, and I think that's what life is about. I've come to accept it the way it happened, because if God didn't know about it, it wouldn't even happen.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when my son Chikamara came, when I conceived, I didn't even know I was pregnant.
Beautiful name. What does
Chikamara is like God is all-knowing.
God is all knowing.
Yes,
Chikamara.
He knows it all.
Chikamara.
So that's it. But then I will always want to say this to anybody that is looking for the fruit of the womb. It's not in your hands. It's not even the doctors. You have to believe ultimately that God can do this.
Yeah.
Your faith alone can bring about the conception and birth of your child. But it's good to do do the needful, doctors and all of that. But ultimate faith in God is what brings about the babies. Not the monies you spend.
Yeah, apart from that again, it becomes worst when you're under pressure,
Yes.
when there's peer pressure, relatives, parents, all
Or
that.
even the husband not being cooperating.
Yes, so all these things can give
I
you...
really learned, both of you just sitting down here and, talking about your story so openly. I'm really very, very humbled and impressed. I think one word for this is that you both are meant for each other.
Thank you.
Very obvious, and I'm sure our audience knows this. We're going to come back to both of you, but we need to go on this quick commercial break. The show is Stand Out with Pat, and of course I have the power couple with me, Ineka and Isaac Moses. We're talking tourism in Africa. We'll be back. Stay tuned. Okay, so tell us, what has been the most, now I'm talking to Mr. Isaac now.
Right.
What has been the most memorable and, should I say, challenging period of your travel life, you know, your tourism business life? Has there been a time where you felt, oh, Nika, this is not working, let's look for something else to do?
Well, I wouldn't call it that. There was a time I was enjoying it, but we were not making money.
Okay.
And usually the mark of success is measured by how much money is made.
Right.
You know, but when you're doing something, we started GOGE Africa, we're enjoying what we're doing, you know, but for some reason the money wasn't coming in, and we weren't able to pay our bills. So, and I felt, but this thing we're doing, people are saying, oh, good show, wherever you go, say, oh, very good show. As if it's that good, how come I'm not making money? You know, and I'm taking a lot of time off because I'm a voice artist. You know, I do a lot of voice work for radio commercials, TV commercials, documentary narration. But I wasn't available to, I was always I'm always unavailable because of GOGE Africa. Right. And then I'm not making money from GOGE Africa again. So I was like, wow, okay, God is faithful. Let's see how it goes. Then from the blues, multi-choice came, oh, we want 26 episodes of your program, and you know, for our local, for our African channel. Oh, beautiful. So they paid upfront, and even when we didn't have enough, but the fact that they paid upfront, you know, gave us the leeway to get on the go.
Arrange things.
Yeah, make more episodes, you know. So that was, the lowest period, I must say. But then aside that, you have, you know, times we go on location for a production, and we don't have money for hotels, you know, so we don't make it look obvious. We just stay at the venue till it's morning.
Really?
Yes.
So what do? You just talk?
We just stay and talk, you know. Sometimes she sleeps off, you know.
Aww.
And you know, I try to stay awake and be the man. You know how it goes. So, that's
so touching.
And then the next day again, we start heading straight to the border. Like the instance was when we went for a 10th anniversary celebration in Benin Republic.
All right.
A lot of tourism activities, musicals, you know, fashion, name it. You know, for a 10th anniversary celebration of a country, they have a lot of things marked out to celebrate it. So, and we wanted the footage for our show, you know, so we went. We didn't have the money for hotels. It wasn't like we were invited per se. Aww. But when we hear of something happening, we just go.
You just went there.
Yes, you know. So we're there, and our program is not like, it's not like something, this has to be planned, the camera, everything, but that one is happening, is, you know, on the fly. We shoot on the fly. It's happening, and we're trying to get the action as it's happening. So, and especially as these things are not created for you. So we had to go in the flow of the activities there. At the end of the event, people who were invited were catered for, put them in a hotel, put them in a car, I got to take them around. We weren't invited. So nobody gave a hoot about us. So we stayed there, you know, but we have our material, we're happy with what we got, you know. So stay.
So were you with your team?
Madame was the team.
Both of you?
Yeah, she was a camera person.
Wow.
Yes, and I was directing, and, you know, tried to, you know, provide some muscles where necessary, you know. So, and we did our thing like that, you know. Nobody knew that it was just the two of us then. And then, of course, she writes a script, you know. I direct it. I do the narrations where necessary. You know, she carries the camera as well. The only thing someone else had to do was the editor.
So when you come back, you just...
Yes, we go to the studio, you know, where we used to do our post-production. The editor would do the work. And So it was fun. Nobody knew all these things,
Wow.
you know.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
You know, someone was saying sometimes it's the glory that people see.
That's
They
of
don't really
course.
get to see your failures and your pains and everything. And it's very important that we don't envy anyone, because
no,
you don't know what they've really been through to be where they are today.
Oh,
So
yes.
if someone is happy, be happy with them.
That's
If they're
right.
celebrating, celebrate with them. If they have failed, try to understand their situation and don't judge them.
And guess what? When Africa Magic, where MultiChoice took the program, put it
Right.
on Africa Magic, then there was there Africa Magic? Then there was this channel for Nigeria
Right.
and Africa. So our program was one of the programs that they used to fill up that bouquet. So, I mean, the next thing was on different parts of Africa. We are clamoring for their country to be
Syndicated.
seen. Oh, yes. Every country wants to be featured on GOGE Africa. Then the Gambia said, look, get these people. You know, the protocol officer called, said, this is for the presidency.
The Gambian
Yes,
government.
you know, wanted us to come. You know, do you want to send a private jet to pick you up? Or And we were like, private jet? No.
That sounds juicy.
Yeah, I said, look, why don't we just go in the commercial? We're good enough. We'll go in the commercial airplane,
Right.
just like everybody else, so that if I mean, this is some kind of a ploy to get us separated so they can identify us, the guys in the private jet, and blow us up. We said, no.
Oh, you had that fear.
Oh, yes. I mean, because it's unusual. Nobody has ever said to send you a private jet. So we became suspicious as Nigerians, you know. We're like, wow. So we went there. It was fun. The protocol officer came to the VIP zone, blah, 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 brought a jeep waiting, got us and our crew in. It was fun.
Right.
You see, everything we ate, just signed HE. Everybody was falling over themselves.
What does HE mean?
His Excellency.
Oh.
Because we're the special guest of Mr. President.
Oh.
So everything we ate, we had to sign HE.
HE.
So
HE.
my crew were signing. Everybody was signing, just feeling around.
HE.
You know? Oh,
Okay.
yeah, feeling good. Everybody was, you know. I mean, you want to go there, there's a jeep. There's a protocol officer, there's a security officer hanging around. You know, it was
How many days did you guys stay there?
10 days or 2 weeks.
Wow, that must be, you know,
Oh, it was from
a
one
new
place
world
to
entirely.
another. From
Yes.
Kanilai to Gabanjul. And then when they take us anyway, they put us in the best place.
what year was this?
This was 2007 or 8? Was it? 2007 or so.
Okay, 2007. That's about 10 years ago.
Yes.
So have you had
12.
12 years, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So have you had another experience in relation to that since then?
Oh yes, I mean the cruise on the layer of the seas, the Royal Caribbean cruise liner.
Okay.
It's the second most luxurious cruise ship in the world, and we were there on a farm trip. It was wonderful.
Wow.
For 7 nights. Oh boy.
Both of you.
Oh yes, me, my crew, one of my crews, my son. You know, it was like I thought I've had fun, but on that cruise. And actually, it was towards our 20th anniversary celebration, which we're planning for October. So we went to check out the ship that we're inviting people, because we don't want people to come on a cruise we haven't been on.
Right.
So we
yes,
had
it's
to go
very
on a
important.
cruise, certified, you know, right and...
So what you do basically is go on, if you are interested in a particular country or
Yes.
in a particular tourism destination,
Yes.
you both explore it first,
Oh, yes.
and then make recommendations
That's
for
right.
people. Oh, okay.
That's right, because you can't sell a destination you haven't been, because it's about experience.
Great.
Tourism is about experience, and so that's what people sell, really. So when we go to a place, we experience it, it's fun, it's what it says it is, then we
Right.
bring it back, package it, and put it out there for sale for people to buy into it. So right now people are buying into the cruise, because people want to have a good time.
Yeah,
you know?
I think I would like you to let's sis do this. I think let's talk about the cruise you're planning, because I know you guys are planning a cruise for October. Am I right?
So yes.
So can you take us through that? What's the process like? You know, how has the planning been, and are people really open to it in Africa?
Okay. The cruise comes up on the 12th of October.
2019.
Yes,
Yes.
2019.
Okay.
12th to 20th. We'll lodge you in Fort Lauderdale, and then on the 13th we go on a ship cruise for 7 days. Now, you have to have an American visa to be on this cruise, because we're going from Florida, we're going to Mexico, we're doing Jamaica, and we're doing Labadi,
in
Haiti.
Did you mention Mexico?
Oh, yes.
I love Mexico because of Enrique Glasses. So I'm actually learning how to speak French because of him.
Spanish?
Yeah, oh, sorry, Spanish, please. No, not because of him. But I, I just like the whole Mexican feel. Their food, their music, the language, Spanish is very, very beautiful. So it's something I would love to explore someday.
So we for those that don't have visas, we already dealt with that, because time is a bit short now for some of them to get their visas. You understand what is going on with the American embassy and the Dropbox issue being cancelled, so people don't get dates easily. So, but the good thing is I will have a good number of people who already have their visas. Some of our people are still going for their interview. And those that have been to the US before and have chances of getting visas, we also help them out to make sure that happens. So once you get your visa, you make your payment, and I mean, it's cheap really when you have to visit 4 countries. With your food and everything, including
total package.
Total package is just 512,000
for the cruise.
For the cruise.
Naira.
In Naira.
Oh, that's really a good one, and we look forward to that. And I hope that it's going to be a great cruise. I love it.
you know one good thing on the cruise?
What?
They surprise you.
The cruise liners are full of. You can't really predict them. They could actually, after watching a movie in the theater, the lead acts can just appear from nowhere, and you're like, wow, you get to meet them.
They
That's
wow
really
you.
huge.
Yes.
And they're actually going to be there with you guys for a while.
But you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
Until at the end of the movie, then they come out and you're like, And see, this ship is the size of 4 football field. When we went in April, we were on 3rd floor, our crew was on 5th, and then our favorite restaurant was on the 16th floor, while my son's club was on 15th floor.
So he had a club on the cruise?
Yes, there's children's club. Every morning he gets dressed and he's not in our way. He just leaves us. And then you'll be begging him to come back. But he doesn't have time for us on that ship.
Because he has his own schedule.
He has his own schedule there. He has friends from all over the world. I mean, on that ship, we had about 72 nationalities. We were about 9,000 people. We have 25 restaurants, and then you eat like 7 times a day. And we have about 10 different nightclubs. There's the reggae club, there's jazz club,
So you both go dancing and
the enjoyment is non-stop. And then you can shop on the ship.
After 2-3 days, you don't know that it's Wednesday or Tuesday or Monday, or you're just living.
Yes. We even had dinner with the captain.
That must be a very big ship, like the Titanic one, or bigger.
It is bigger than Titanic, because have you been to a football match before?
Yes.
Okay, that field, 4 times that field.
That's
so
really
we call
huge.
it a moving city. You understand? I mean, there's some villages that don't have up to 9,000 people.
Oh, yes.
You understand? So, and then we have 25 restaurants to cater to your need. I mean, there was a time I asked for jollof rice. They made me jollof rice and then made me pepper soup.
So are there Nigerians on the cruise too?
Oh yeah, there's one Nigerian. There's one Nigerian cook
who works there.
Works there, and then wherever you're off from, whatever you want, they Google it. They call your hometown if they have to, and because their own is to give you fun,
an experience
that you won't forget in a hurry. After that cruise, I know that every year I have to go for a cruise to maintain my sanity.
Every year I have to go for a cruise to maintain my sanity. Okay, sis, thank you. It's been a wonderful time with you both on the show, but we need to go on a short break now. We'll be back. Well, I must confess, it's been a very wonderful moment having you both on the show. It's been fun, and I've learned so much about tourism. In fact, I can't wait to start going on my annual cruise. Yeah, but I think it's better when you go too. But of course, I can go alone. I don't have to go with anybody, right?
Don't worry, we have packages every year.
Yeah, sure. So I'll look into that. And before we round up on the show today, sis, I want to ask you, because in Africa they believe that when a marriage is working, it is in the hand of the woman. Would you agree with that, sir?
Yeah, to a great extent, yeah.
Thank you. So, Ma, how do you cope? How do you, manage the transition of today being a wife, and then tomorrow you're a business partner, and then, how do you...
I don't know how, I'll tell you, for me, I don't know how other people see it, but I'm constantly a wife. Even in the office, I'm his wife.
Even as a business
I'm
partner.
always his wife.
Right.
That's number one. But that's my first rule, and I remain a wife. Then, at the office, I'm his wife and also the managing director.
Right.
But he is my CEO. So you see, from all angles, I have to listen to him, and I constantly make presentations to him. At home, I make presentations to get a good budget for the house. I make presentations for him to agree to what I say. Then in the office, I also prepare my slides. If I need him to agree to, yes.
That's so professional.
Yeah, if I need him
Can I
to...
use the word romantically professional?
I agree with you. So if I need him to buy into an idea,
Right.
I have to present it in such a way that, because if I can convince him, I can convince the client. So he becomes my first client. So I constantly make presentations to him. So, and then I need his buy-in at all times, whether at home or in the office. So I'm constantly a wife, I'm a managing director, and I'm also his best friend, because he doesn't hang around a lot of people without me. So I'm his best friend, I'm always with him. So I try to play and manage that role, because I appreciate the fact that they say to whom much is given, much is expected. So if a fine guy like him, that is very talented, okay, with the best voice ever, I mean, 20 years of marriage, he doesn't have pot belly. No, 20-something years of marriage, actually. He doesn't have pot belly. Still looking cute. I mean, there's no girl out there that he'll go and choose that wouldn't want to marry him. So if someone like this is devoting his time to me, I try. If someone like him will devote his time to me, then I should be able to devote time to listen to him, not just what he's saying, but listen to his body language as well. See, if you make your man understand that he is your king, ultimately, he'll make you his queen.
Wow, that's strong. Well, it's so obvious that we can't have enough of both of you on the show. You've been so warm, so expressive, and I love the fact that you were expressive, you were open, and you shared your story with us. And when you were talking about tourism, I could see myself on that cruise. Yes, and I can't wait to explore that with you guys, or with myself, or with someone very soon. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Now, of course, to show appreciation, I have this signature cup for you. It's a standout cup, customized. Nice. I hope you both use it. Gonna stand out drinking now. Of course, you only stand out in your word. And this is my first book, Life of a Media Girl. Oh, wow. It says a lot about the media industry and my journey in the media as a media girl. Wow. Sis, I hope you read it.
I will read it.
I'll
read it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I autograph this?
Yes, I did.
Oh, thank you.
Because
I knew
you guys were coming, I did. Well, it's been a wonderful moment on the show today, Stand Out with Pat, and we've covered tourism in Africa, interviewing the power couple, Nneka and Isaac Moses. Till next week, when I shall be coming your way again for another beautiful edition of your show. I want to say, explore your world, be adventurous, have fun, and go on that cruise if you have to. I love you. Bye.